Welcome everybody to the Independent Media Center Zine Library located in Urbana, Illinois. As you can see behind me, we have our collection of zines, which are housed in these really nice folder containers, because that's typically how you have to house zines because of how fragile they are. And on our other side, we also have a collection of books that individuals have donated to us. I think that makes our collection really unique because we have both in the space, and also because everything you see behind me has been donated. We do not have a purchasing thing set in place, so all of our zines and our books are donated by individuals in the community. Usually they're sent to us through the mail, or people before pandemic times would come into the space and just bring their zines. And that, I think, has been really fruitful for this space in particular, because of how much we center community participation in the Independent Media Center. I think the Zine Library really encapsulates that. Most of the stuff behind us is from either in Illinois or also from places like Portland. We have some things from Washington, et cetera, but we also have a very rich community archive, which we do not keep in this space. And that's because we kind of want to hold on to those archive pieces. So in our archive, we have things that are made specifically in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, and we also have pieces of political history that we keep in that space as well, from people in Champaign-Urbana. And so we like to keep that shut for purposes in that we want to have this collection of history kept with us. And when we leave stuff out like this, usually things will go missing, and that's because this is a community space. And that's not really upsetting to us, because someone saw a zine that they really wanted. We want them to keep that, and they found meaning in that, and so they took it with them. Which of course that does present some challenges for the librarians who run this space, because we really never know when things go missing or when they come in, unless they're in our mailbox. But right now we're working on kind of streamlining that process, and so we have a few catalogers who are volunteering to help us kind of get an inventory of everything we have in the space. And you can see the inventory with this link that will be shared with you. But yeah, that's kind of what we do here. If you're looking at our collection, you can also see that there are boxes missing. And that's because our catalogers who are creating that inventory for everyone to browse have taken the boxes home with them to then spend some personal time with the zines at home to really get a sense of what they're all about. So oftentimes when you visit this space, you will see some of our collection missing, and that's because they are being held by our catalogers currently. And this is one of my favorite zines in the collection. It's called Hey, Fuck You. So you're kind of wondering, like, what is this about? Well, it was created by a group of students at EIU, so Eastern Illinois University, in a media class. And that's really great because you see that media courses on college campuses in Illinois are really focusing on how important it is to have participatory media like zines. This one in particular is one of my favorites because it has just every page is full of the students saying fuck you to things that they do not enjoy. Like this page is societal beauty standards. Hey, fuck you. I'm not considered perfect. I'm not considered beautiful, pretty, irresistible. What's this about? We also have a lovely page called the Fuck You Hall of Fame, in which they have listed a full list of things that they like to say fuck you to, such as Glee, Walmart, all natural ingredients. There's not really any explanation as to why this exists, but I'm really glad that it does, because it showcases what these students were thinking about in their media course and what they thought was important to them and their readers, which is saying fuck you to the things that don't matter to them, that shape their lives in a negative way. So I think that's great. And this piece in particular showcases the power of zines in my mind, because most of the times in popular media you don't get to see stuff like this, these critiques that oftentimes seem lowbrow but really are not. So yeah. Are just recollections. So this title in particular is called Am I Totally Normal Too? And the piece is centered around the author's musings about if they're normal as well. And if what they consider normal is society's standards of normal. And so we get some really rich art in these pieces where this person has always wanted to be a hero. So they drew an image of a superhero, and they're wondering if that's normal to want to feel that way. And they also drew little comics about their life and how they feel a hero is created and sustained. And I would really love to showcase this piece in our collection. It's a vintage suitcase full of zine making materials that we take to events with us. It's been decorated by the previous key holder of the space, and we just really cherish this. It's a pretty heavy suitcase, so you're probably wondering how I'm lifting it. You kind of get used to it when you take it with you to places. But yeah, all of the things in it, I'm not going to showcase them because it might get a little messy, but we have pieces of old newspapers, we have stickers, we have various like collage pieces inside of it. And when we take this suitcase to places with us, participants in whatever event that we're at are able to then make their own zines, and then if they want, they can donate them to the collection. A lot of cool spaces where this suitcase has gone is it's gone to a host of iSchool events with library students, so they get to be acquainted with this space, and then they do choose to maybe volunteer with us, which is great. We've also taken it to CU Girls Rock, which is the event that teaches young girls that they rock. So in that space, they not only learn about the history of zines and the space of zines in the music history, but they also learn how to play musical instruments in that week. So we feel that the Zine Library brings a lot to that space for young girls in the community. We also have a small computer lab, which I think is very different for zine libraries, because we have community members who come in wanting to use the computers like they would in a public library. And so I see this space as more like a public library than an archive in a sense, because we have community members coming in to use it almost every single day when those red doors at the front of the Independent Media Center are open. So yeah, I'm really glad that we could share this little bit of history and this little bit of our space with you today. Thank you so much.